Hey, what's going on, everybody? Justin here, and in this video I just want to share 4 books that I was able to pick up over the course of the month of April. What's a little interesting for this one compared to a lot of my other ones is one of the bookstores in my county, one of only 2 new bookstores, is closing next month. So for Indie Bookshop Day, I wanted to go up the drive an hour just to go there, just to kind of support the shop. And it's like, dying moments, I guess. Apparently they wanted to sell the shop, but they just weren't able to get any buyers. It wasn't like that they were like running out of money or not making enough sales. The owner just wanted to do different things, I guess. But unfortunately, like I said, it's only 1 out of 2 new bookstores in my entire county, and it's closing. And the other one doesn't sell nonfiction besides, I think, cookbooks and like self-help. So that one just doesn't do anything for me. And this one had a nice nature section, so I picked up a couple there. But let's just go ahead and get started. All right, so first up, we got The Demon of Unrest by Erik Larson, and I was sent this as an arc by Crown Publishing, so thank you so much for that. And Erik Larson writes he's a pretty well-known popular historian on a bunch of different topics. The reason I haven't covered him much before is they're just usually on topics I don't really read about, because it's all like modern-ish history. Right here, like The Demon of Unrest, for example, is all about the opening moments of the Civil War. He's also got In the Garden of Good and Evil, The Splendid and the Vile, and Devil in the White City. So it's a lot of like kind of modern-ish topics, but this, for whatever reason, this year I'm kind of trying to branch out, read a lot more history that I don't normally read. Usually I do ancient, classical, medieval, and then after medieval everything just kind of peters out. But I feel like especially the 19th century, the 1800s, I've been reading a ton on for some reason. But anyways, The Demon of Unrest is all about kind of what led up to the artillery bombardment of Fort Sumter, which was kind of the opening engagement of the American Civil War. So the book kind of, I think it covers his Abraham Lincoln's election, which was kind of a wonky election if you do read American history and stuff. And then kind of the first like couple months where states were seceding, and then I think it was either 5 or 6 months in is the the artillery bombardment of Fort Sumter to initiate the war. I haven't read a single overview book of the Civil War, and this is definitely not. This obviously isn't going to be like an overview book of any kind. It's just I don't know much about like the American Civil War like in detail. A lot of American history is just kind of there in the background for me, so I kind of want to start rectifying that a little bit. And like I said, Erik Larson is super well regarded. Oh, it does have a subtitle. It's not all. Every time I've like talked to people about this book, I thought there was like no subtitle. For whatever reason, I kept reading that as just like a blurb. Apparently, a saga of hubris, heartbreak, and heroism at the dawn of the Civil War. So yeah, I think in my other video where I mentioned that I didn't do the subtitle. Anyways, like I said, I'm just trying to branch out, get a lot more kind of contextual understanding for a lot of things, and then if I really like it, I'll probably actually go through some of his back catalog and read some of his other books. Like I know one is like on the Chicago World Fair, things like that, and might actually start reading maybe about some American history, like the American Civil War and like the Reconstruction movement, like afterwards and everything. So hopefully this one pans out to be really good. All right, next up we have the 3 books that I was able to buy at the bookstore before it closed. And let's just go ahead. We got 3 nature books. Like I said, they actually have like a nature section, even though it's a small bookstore. Just super awesome. I'll save the best for last, but we got The Maine Birding Trail, the official guide to more than 260 accessible sites by Bob Duchesne. Now, the Maine Birding Trail, I think, is like 70-ish birding sites across the state that are like vaguely like linked together. I'm not really sure if there's like, I guess there is like an official trail, but I don't think I've ever heard anyone actually talking about like an official trail. But what's cool about this book is obviously like anyone can just kind of look those up. He includes like another like 200-ish just sites like nearby, like all these places that you can also kind of go to just do nature watching and like bird watching and tick some birds hopefully off your life list and stuff. What I like about this book too is it's not a field guide in any sense. Obviously each site has like a little bit of a list of like what to expect or maybe what to look for, but it's mostly like tips and tricks of like getting there, things to do, like not things to do while you're there per se, but I guess places to actually watch the birds, like hidden places and gems and things like that. So it's all about the sites themselves rather than being like a field guide about the birds, which I kind of like. I have plenty of bird guide books and even a couple just like on Maine as well. But like, you know, when I plan out some of my camping trips, some of my tenting trips, I'm definitely gonna like kind of consult this a little bit as well and see if I can like kind of squeeze in a couple of the different hidden sites there around and about, just to kind of include some nature and bird watching. So I think, and it's small enough where I could put that in the backpack with a field guide. I think it'll be a really cool combo. And like I said, just kind of nice. It's focusing more on finding the places to go, rather than just, you know, assuming you already know how to find the bird, if that makes sense. Next up, since I'm kind of in the gardening mood, I just finished building my little greenhouse and stuff. That was still a little bit too cold to start doing stuff. It's pretty sad. We're about to enter May. I still got like frost dangers and everything. We got the Naturally Bug-Free Garden, Controlling Pest Insects Without Chemicals by Anna Hess. I just kind of picked this one up on a whim. I do like pretty much completely organic gardening. I don't spray anything. I don't do any chemicals like of any kind. There are 2 bugs that do give me some trouble every now and then, and I'm hoping maybe this book might have some like kind of, you know, off of the beaten path, like, I don't know, biocontrol remedies, like maybe planting different flowers or trying to attract different kinds of, you know, insect or bird predators to kind of like eat those bugs for me. Like I said, I try to keep everything like as clean as I possibly can. So just like I said, I just kind of picked up on a whim because I'm in the gardening mindset. I want to get going on it and everything, and I just like learn a few tips and tricks. That's kind of what I feel like with a lot of these gardening books, is a lot of them kind of cover the same ground per se, but a lot of times they'll have kind of like their own, especially when they include like their own personal stuff. Usually there's just some weird, like, you know, just homesteading tricks or whatever, that people just through trial and error that, you know, different people have found to work. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for with this one. And then lastly, the best for last, I happened to see this one and I couldn't leave without it. We got Around the World in 80 Birds. This one is by Mike Unwin and illustrated by Ryoto Miyake. Just like, look how awesome like that Miyake does with like his illustrations and artwork there. So obviously the book kind of covers 80 different birds throughout the book. There's not going to be like a ton of information per se on each one, just because there's only like a 2-page spread. But he does cover the entire like planet. He does a little bit from each continent, tries to kind of spread everything out. Though really, if you did like a pure like just proportional one, I think South America has like what, 40% like the world's. I think actually, like, was it Colombia itself has like a 1/5 of the entire like bird species like in its borders, which is pretty crazy considering how small Colombia is compared to like some countries and stuff. I think they have like around 2,000 species or something. But anyways, I was actually walking around with Around the World in 80 Trees. But that was a paperback one, and then when I saw this one for a couple dollars more, I was like, I'm just gonna pick up the really nice like hardcover one and splurge for one since I'm supporting the bookstore. Just really good. And the reason I kind of gravitated towards them too is I had seen, I didn't pick it up a couple months ago, but I did see Around the World in 80 Fish by Helen Scales, which is an author I've read several of her other books before and really enjoyed. Didn't end up picking it up, but I didn't realize it was kind of like it doesn't say it's a series, but it's by the same publisher, and it's kind of got the same style, though I think the illustrators are different for some of the titles and stuff. But there's Around the World in 80 Plants, Trees, Birds, and Fish. And I don't know, maybe they're gonna keep like putting some more out. Maybe they'll do like reptiles and mammals and stuff. That'd be like super cool. I kind of plan on like getting all 4 of them now and keeping them together, because even if the illustrations are like a little bit different styles, I think they're just gonna fit together super well. And it's kind of neat that it's like I said, it's like a hidden series. Like, it doesn't say anywhere in here that it's like part of a bigger I guess the dust jacket does say also in the series. Never mind, I lied. Just forget everything I said about it being a hidden series and stuff. Anyways, like I said, I plan on collecting them. Now I'm kind of hoping they come out with more. I've already read the first, I want to say like 4 entries, I believe. But what I enjoy about this book is it's a lot about, you know, how the kind of connection between humans and whatever species of bird that is, whether that's kind of like good or ill. Like, I think one of the first one was the honey catcher. Why do I say honey catcher? Is that actually what it's honey guide? I don't know. Yeah, I knew honey catcher was right. The honey guide, where out in Africa they will actually lead people to honeycombs and stuff, and if you can flush out the bees for them, and the humans get people get their honey, and then he goes in right after, as the bees are still like pretty dormant and stuff, or sedated from the smoke. It's just a really cool kind of symbiotic relationship and everything. So like I said, it's kind of all about you know, just the different connections that we have with birds around the world and everything. And it just seems like it's going to be a lovely book, and I'm really excited to kind of just savor that one. Like that one, I have to like concentrate, not just like read it straight through, maybe read like 10 at a time, then put it down for a week or something, and then like enjoy it again like the week after. I don't know, something like that. Anyways, those are the 4 books that I picked up in the month of April. Let me know if any of them sound good to you, and let me know what books you picked up during April, and if any that you're super excited to read about. This is where I get a lot of my good recommendations, so I'm definitely looking forward to the comment section down below. But whatever you end up reading, whether it ends up being really great or not, always remember, read victoriously.